Click like, subscribe, and enjoy the show, because we talking G.I. Joe from the snow. Alright, hey gang, a bit overdue, but I thought we'd talk about all of our winter war fighters and our Arctic warriors all together now. So first up, we've got our Snow Serpent, followed by the Arctic Bat, and a soon-to-follow my main man, Snowjob, as well as a customized Yamaha snowmobile on about 1/10 scale that I purchased off Amazon for 20 bucks. So stick around. Hey, thanks for joining us. John here, and I've got my my wintry Christmas Hawaiian shirt on. I think there's like some birds, maybe with a little Santa hat somewhere here, but I thought it would be cool and festive. Alright, so up to bat first, we have Snow Serpent. So we'll take a look at the packaging and talk about the figure. Looks super cool, super dynamic on the box there. A lot of action going on. And I really like this figure because it comes with a ton of accessories. I think that Hasbro might have felt they were in an accessory deficit. So in some of these newer figures that are coming out, I think they're trying to make up for that. Alright, so we've got the insert, and the dude's mean looking. The wolf pelt and wolf or fur cape are a new addition from the original Aura line. Here's his little Snow Serpent footlocker. Not terribly interesting or different, but you know, whatever. Again, the windowless packaging. I was pretty elated when I opened these figures prior to filming to find that they were the correct figures and they were all there. So let's talk about this guy, right? It took me a little while to get him in a pose where he would actually stand on the snowboard. It needs to be an athletic pose, which means a bend in the knee. You know, he's kind of leaning forward, doing his thing on a snowboard. So at first, like, he just got to bend him a little bit, and it's a really cool figure. Funny story, I did the Bridgeport, California winter package as a young infantryman in January, like, 2007. And that was anything but fun. We would wake up, and it would be, like, somewhere between -20 and -25 Fahrenheit. And it was pretty gnarly. I slept in snow caves, walked around the high hills of Bridgeport with snowshoes that were constantly falling off. Granted, you know, grunts in California probably don't know how to wear those things properly. We didn't ski, but it definitely learned a lot about yourself and your friends. So this dude comes with a snowboard. I don't know the tactical value of a snowboard. I know you can like shred and, you know, do some really awesome things, but I don't know the combat applications of a snowboard. So it's cool, it's interesting. Oh, his foot came out of there. But yeah, we'll get this aside and we'll just talk about the figure, right? So the figure, it comes with a lot. I mean, there is a lot that goes into this figure here. So we have the snowboard, but there's a lot of other accessories that go on this guy. And we'll start with the backpack, which he can wear his wolf cape and the pack with all of his, assumingly Carl Gustav rounds. We'll talk about that, and they go in there pretty nicely. You've got double tone, and then the rockets are a slightly different color. So I thought that was a neat addition. And then as we will peel the onion here, so his little wolf hat, which I think is pretty cool. That's pretty neat, right? That's cool. Dude's a Snow Serpent, winter wolf, Arctic warfighter. So I think that's pretty cool. And then he's got goggles on top of goggles. So his eyes will be well protected from the glare that comes off the snow or the winter wonderland, whatever happens. And his little cape, that comes off as well. So, and you see the hole where he can wear whatever pack. And then you sort of have the, you know, more reminiscent of the real American hero figure underneath all of that. And I like the color scheme. It works. It's pretty cool. It's simple. It looks like this might be some kind of parachute rig. I don't really know. I'm not a parachutist. But it works. It absolutely works. I'll take his gun out of here and talk about that in a minute. So he's got some sort of Arctic insignia, for his Winter Wonderland unit. He's got a nice little Cobra badge there, crest or whatever, and he articulates pretty well. It's hard. I get these things out of the box. I don't spend a ton of time moving them around, but initially, some of the joints are a little stiff, but I think they do work out pretty well. So here's the snowboard. He's got his cool it's like a snake and a mountain insignia on there. There we go. They're gonna hit up the ski lodge later in the hot tub with the ladies, have a good time. But I definitely like the figure. He comes with two holsters and 2 pistols. Now these are much better, if I can get it out, much better renditions of what a firearm might look like than that weird Kel-Tec high point stuff Hasbro is cranking out. So these are actually pretty decent. It almost looks like I want to say that's like a Springfield XD. Take a look at that. Hopefully it's focused, but that looks SD-esque to me. And he's got 2 of them. I don't know if there's, a lot of goodness in carrying 2 pistols. We just carry extra magazines. I know a lot of people actually do that in real life. They're in the military. But whatever. Cool figure. I really like the sculpt. I like how this dude turned out. And there's a lot of other really good aspects of this figure we can get to, right? So we talked about the snowboard, talked about the figure, talked about the pelt. He also comes with snowshoes. And initially I thought these were just reproductions or recolorizations of Snowjob, and they are not. The difference is, there, look at that. Very similar. Like, just barely altered. I don't know what the significance of that is, but these things are damn near the same. Except for that small cutout in the heel. Whatever. So, alright, so we got our Carl Gustav. Has the carry handle, not the optic, but it's got it's got a foregrip. It has a cool sling. I haven't reviewed some of the figures that come with this weapon, but then the back opens up, but it doesn't go back together that well. It's kind of janky, kind of falls off. And I don't know, if people are excited about that opens up. We'll see how a round loads. At TopFunRetroToys3D.com, we are working on a Carl Gustav of our own. So the round does slide in there, and it sort of closes up. So that's kind of neat. We'll move on to this and talk about some other things. But his rifle is pretty okay. It seems to be a futuristic AR platform with a 203 grenade launcher. And let me zoom in, and you can see, we'll show both. We'll show the fire control group. Oh, that's the ejection. No, the fire control group there. So those are definitely AR pattern fire control group. And then we've got our ejection port cover, forward assist type stuff. So it's an updated AR platform, and then what looks like a cute little PMag. Look at that! It's ribbed for tactical stuff. But no optics, no real sights. At least throw some iron sights on there, man. My man's got to see, right? Maybe they're just like a really short length of sight alignment, perhaps. He also comes with sort of the comic book submachine gun, which is kind of like a grease gun with a scope. So they saw fit to throw a scope, which already had iron sights on the submachine gun, but not the rifle. I don't work for Hasbro. I'm not advising them. This does accept blast effects, so that's cool. Now, if these accept blast effects, I really wish that Hasbro would, aside from stands, which I guess this figure sort of came with a stand if you count the surfboard, the snowboard. But yeah, these do accept blast effects, so that's cool. He comes with a knife, and there's on the Facebook groups I'm in a good amount of frustration with, well, where do you put the knife? And it's like, he doesn't have a sheath necessarily. It would make sense to like include one right here, which would have been very simple. I think that was like a last minute addition, perhaps. Like, throw a knife in there. Where are we gonna put it? I don't know, man. The kids will love it. Someone's gonna swallow it. It's gonna get lost. I guess nobody really cares. So let's talk about this Carl Gustav, and I haven't done this yet, so I'm pretty excited to see how this will turn out. Will this accept some blast effects? So there appears to be some space. Oh. Appears to there's a hole, a small hole in the back here, and I feel like it wants to go in there, but it's just not quite. Man, there is clearly a small little blast effects. Now, if that one's not going to go in, this certainly isn't. But I mean, that would be cool if it lined up. So let's see on the front end. This is from scrap metal. Very cool, right? Let's see if we can get one of these rounds to go in here. Oh, yeah. That is neat. That's really cool. There's interoperability between this accessory, the blast effects, and the missile. That's pretty neat. I'm considering doing like an RPG-7 that does something very similar with blast effects and a rocket. I don't know if there's a lot of interest in the community for other launch systems like perhaps a Stinger or a Javelin that also have blast effects and missiles shooting out of them. If there is, let me know in the comments. It is something I'm working on. I just haven't put a ton of time into it just yet. So let's get this guy geared up here and give some sort of final comments on this figure. I think it's awesome. I really like the figure. I know I say that about a lot of these, but I do. I'm like a kid, man. 41 going on 14. So here's him. We'll throw his. I think that Snowjob had some Pit Viper-esque goggles. But yeah, and he's got his snowshoes, but this is a good figure. I really like the figure. It's well designed, it's well made. I don't have any really complaints other than like maybe they should have just put a sheath on there. And screw the knife, like who cares? Like it's gonna throw it in his pocket. I don't know. But I really like this figure. Let's see if we can sling his Carl there. Come on there. Yeah, so it kind of goes on there. Oh, it falls off. But, that's a big ass. Oh, there you go. Yeah. That's pretty cool. One thing I see on my side is his little shoulder. I don't know if you can see that, but it keeps... That little interior cup keeps kind of shaking. This is a fantastic figure. Funny story, I pre-ordered this from two places. Forgot I pre-ordered one. My Amazon showed up like October 16th, and then my GameStop one showed up like November 1st maybe, and they called me and they're like, John, we got your figure, come pick him up. So I go there that day, like, oof, we can't sell it to you until the 4th. And I was like, well, I already got my Amazon one. And they're like, corporate policy. I was like, yep, that's cool, whatever. But I love this figure. I think it's really cool. Definitely worth the wait. Definitely worth the money. All right, next up we got Arctic Bat. So we'll take a look at the packaging, and this guy's ready for snow operations. Oh, fell down. He's got a lot of different things that come with him, but overall, I was actually pretty disappointed with the figure. Here's his insert, and it shows that Android face, which I guess is kind of cool. He comes with two faces. He's got his little box. Right, so he comes with two heads, and I like the snow. I mean, they're both pretty cool, but it is nice that it comes with two heads. He comes with his backpack, which I'm assuming, I haven't reviewed the other bats yet, but I'm assuming all his other hand attachments ought to go in here, and there's no other hand attachments. There is a chainsaw. I guess you need that, you know, for sawing ice, you know, in the Winter Wonderland. So he comes with a chainsaw. We'll throw that on him. Let's see, I guess he's an android, so it doesn't matter if he's right hand or left hand dominant. Okay, chainsaw. Alright. His arms look pretty cool, though. I do like that. You got the robotics. And then he comes with a couple different chest pieces. So you can show him bare-chested. He's got this sort of gray... there we go. Gray Molly chest rig with magazines. And that's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know if robots would, like, if you could they could grab from anywhere, because it would be programmed to think about it, like humans would have to rely on training, whereas a robot would just, like, do what the program says. Then he comes with sort of a plain, white, yet battle-worn chest piece, which is pretty cool, because you can see the blue Arctic space juice thing, whatever's behind him, kyber crystals or something, I don't know. And he comes with his Cobra corporate logo, like, here we are, representing the brand. That's pretty cool. But, womp, womp, womp. Oh, man. I don't know, maybe it's cold outside, that's why it's drooping, I don't know. But he comes with a sort of sniper rifle that has a really awesome angle to it. And a removable suppressor, which if you go to www.topfunretrotoys3d.com, we offer a Shytech intervention with removable suppressor. The best part is the barrel doesn't bend at like a 25-degree angle. So I'm assuming you could probably maybe put that in some water, some hot water, maybe straighten out a bit. It does have bipods that, you know, sort of deploy and go back underneath the weapon. It's got a sling, so that's kind of cool. I'm not sure what this whole thing is, if these are like grenades or rounds or what that's supposed to be. This is still a very sci-fi weapon. It has a Picatinny rail, though, and optics, so at least they included some sights with my man here. Let's see if he can sling his... Oh, there you go. That's actually pretty cool. The weapon slings well, right? Despite being all bent out of shape. And then he comes with this sort of fun... this is definitely some sort of interesting, futuristic, weird gripped pistol with a light or laser on the bottom. Don't know quite what to think about that, but you know, his holster is pretty cool. It looks like, you know, a standard, I'll show that off, standard tactical holster. Come on. Standard tactical holster. You know, you find a Glock or any service pistol in. His rig's pretty cool. It's you know, it's the color scheme matches, you know, the Winter Wonderland. I don't know what this massive thigh stuff is. I don't know. You know, a lot of people don't wear thigh armor, but it's got a cool little fanny pack, so I dig it, man. Maybe there's his concealed carries in there. Who knows? But he's got some cool pouches. I do like the color scheme. I really do like the arms. Like, I'm kind of bashing the figure for not having all the bat attachments that should come in that pack, but we'll get a better look at his hands here. I think that's really cool, though. Android, robot, cyborg, Terminator, you know, T-200, whatever, hands, and you know, the chainsaw, which is very like Army of Darkness. This is my boomstick. Shop smart. Shop S smart. We'll see what it looks like with the... that pops off pretty easily. With the Arctic head. And I know you ought to put these things in some warm water to kind of let the plastic expand, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to go on very well unless I do that. So when you're swapping out heads, you don't have to put it in boiling water. I've had great success with just like really hot tap water. Will soften and expand the plastic enough to get you where you need to be. Overall, it's okay. The rifle's neat because it's two-toned. Big, oh, there goes his head. Big disappointment with the droop in the barrel. Pretty cool on our removable suppressor, but still, like, we already bent this once. I don't know what it takes to get these things to stay in position. I don't have that problem with the weapons that I make, but I'm a younger man. The bipods, that's pretty cool. They deploy and secure, and then the sling actually works out pretty well despite him not having a head. So we'll see if we can get that. Oh, that one pops right on. So good. Yeah, overall, it's an okay figure. If you're not super excited about the Arctic Bat, you might want to hold off. I don't think every figure in the Arctic line was a bust, but this was sort of a meh. Alright, last but certainly not least is Snowjob. No, guys, it is not some kind of fleshly reference or a reference to nose beers. No, he works in the snow, he does a job in the snow, he's Snowjob, okay? So grow up, seriously. Alright, we got our dude here. He's hanging out in the Arctic. He's doing his job, working. I really dig the very Pit Viper-esque snow goggles he's wearing. What's he actually doing there? Oh, there's a tank in the background. I think the Holiday Coca-Cola polar bear is there to visit as well. And on the back, it shows that we've got two heads. We've got a pistol. We've got some kind of sniper rifle. We've got snowshoes, snow ski, snow pole, and a backpack. So, again, won the lottery, not getting some wrestling figure or Play-Doh in the box. But no, the figure was actually in there. And then there's his insert. And I like these sort of grizzled, old, crusty, because that's kind of where I'm at in life. Grizzled, old, crusty. I dig those, those face sculpts. I think it's pretty cool. I can relate to that better than I can the Young Bucks. And there's his little foot locker. I don't think anybody cares about that. And here's our figure, and I really like this guy. What's really neat is he's got, sort of a dual, well, really tritone. So he's got these tan chest rig, web gear or belt or whatever, tan holster, and then you can see he's got gray, pockets. It's kind of a cool, offset, breaks it up a little bit. I think it's aesthetically, it's pretty good. So he's got this pack, and all of his fun little accessories fit into here. So he's got, you can put your snow skis, he's got his snow or his ski poles, and his rifle goes in there pretty well. And it looks like a realistic mountain ruck. You've got several pouches, you've got your Molly stuff he can throw, a canteen, his canteen cup, pots, pans, turn into a gypsy wagon if you wanted to. But I like it. It's well textured. It's a very good sculpt. I really like the pack. And then inside the pack, no womp womp. His rifle comes out pretty proper. And this is a dual tone. It's sort of an OD rifle, and I haven't seen this one yet. This almost looks like a Remington MSR. I could be mistaken. I'm working on one myself, but it's not that bad. It's pretty cool, and you can see and you've got the bolt right there. He's got optics on it. The barrel's not bent to hell. The magazine comes out, and there shows a spot for a round in there. So if removable magazines is your thing, This comes with one. And the reason I think, I would have said it's an MSR. It kind of looks like an MSR. I don't know. I mean, the weapons Hasbro uses are loosely based off the real deal, not, a true weapons study of what that might look like. Yeah, but I mean, the weapon's good. I think it would have been pretty neat though if they did do a sort of a white dual tone instead of the OD, but whatever. So he comes with a second head, and I will probably use this second one for a custom. But then we've got these really cool Pit Viper looking. So this head is an entire. Oh, yep. No, this head's two pieces. The little hood sits separately from the head itself. It looks like it would come out if I were so inclined. Well, let's see. Oh, yep. The goggles will go over his eyes. That's neat, right? So let's put his other hood on there. This is him dropping his hood. And yeah, as with the Arctic Bat, I think that you're probably best off using, I don't want his head to fall off. His head's going to fall off. So for the sake of this video, you know what? We'll just come back. And we're back. So we finally got his head on there. Again, some warm water, not boiling water, would probably do the trick. But I like his hair is richly colored. It's got some attention to detail paid to it, so it's somewhat realistic. Maybe he's of Norse origin. Let's see what his real name is here. There we go. Snowjob. Right, so his real name doesn't appear on the box. It just says Snowjob. Sometimes they have their true name on there. Unfortunately, I got to use a QR code, which I'm not going to do. But that would have been really nice, to include their legend. I've said that before. But this figure, we haven't talked about the pistol yet. What we got here? Well, first we'll look at the holster. Kind of plain Jane holster. I mean, it does the job. I'm not, I don't need like a hyper realistic holster necessarily. And this appears to be some type of crazy 22 target rifle, which would make sense, I guess, maybe if you're in a biathlon. No, they shoot 22 rifles. At any rate, kind of a funny pistol. Hasbro hasn't quite nailed down, like, now I say Hasbro in the classified line, because I've seen other Hasbro figures that have very realistic weapons. They haven't figured out the pistols yet, but I think they're on the right track with the rifles. Like that's a proper rifle. Like that looks good. I don't actually have any complaints. Let's see, does it accept some blast effects? And it appears to. Right, so you could church this up with some blast effects. Pose him taking a shot. This is actually a pretty good figure. I really like the two heads. I like I like the gear he comes with. The pack is nice and realistic. Let's see, he's got his little ski poles here that come off, so he could, conceivably, let's see if he can pose, do a little shooting cross with two ski poles and put his little sniper rifle in there. The supported shooting. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, I mean, these guys are kind of stiff. Well, that might be hard to do, but if I were to sit here and mess with it, I could probably pose him so he could. That's actually it's really neat. He does kind of hold them. If you were to use ski poles to build a field expedient bipod, wouldn't really be a tripod, so you need a third leg. But yeah, I really like this figure. I think this figure is really cool. I think a lot of people would probably like to see more of the Winter Warfighter Arctic type guys. In fact, I am working on a Winter Warrior package, so we have then Eastern Bloc weapons or Warsaw Pact East Bloc weapons, and then sort of a NATO Western package, and we'll show those once I get those photographed. I think that's going to be super cool. They're going to come in white, same high flex resin I use, and we've got some pretty cool models for you. Thanks.